Marriage brings great joy to many, but it also brings challenges, often difficult ones. How a couple manages them often determines whether their relationship collapses or becomes strong. Preserving long term connection may require one or both partners to remove misguided beliefs or dysfunctional habits that they themselves hold, while keeping in mind that trying to change a spouse tends to fail unless the individual also wants to change. If you want to know more about such interesting topics, do consider subscribing to my channel and sharing the video. Marriage does more than change people's living situation and daily routines. Becoming a spouse appears to change one's personality as well, especially in the early years of marriage. Men, for example, tend to become more conscientious and introverted than they were when single, and women more emotionally stable, but both tend to become less agreeable. Do you know what are the strongest signs that a marriage will succeed? Well, relationship researchers John Gottman and Julie Skowatz-Gottman maintain that couples reveal the state of their bond in the way they speak about each other. Specifically, they refer to each other fondly, use we more than I when speaking about their relationship, speak expansively and with detail about their past together, and express pride in surviving challenges rather than dwelling on their problems. What can couples do to keep a marriage happy? Well, the idea of a honeymoon period is real. Most couples experience a general decline in satisfaction after the first years of marriage. Those who stay together, research shows, tend to share some habits. They act like they're still dating, remain focused on each other's positive traits, express gratitude, and recognize that external pressures may be causing them stress rather than blaming each other. What mistakes should new couples watch out for? People's habits and personality traits remain fairly consistent. And so, when couples express frustration with each other years into a marriage, it's often about issues that were present when they first met. Those concerns are often ignored or put aside in the early stages of love. For this reason, relationship experts suggest that couples not dismiss things that bother them about potential spouses and find ways to address them as early as possible. What's the best way to handle problems with your partner? Well, living with another person and their habits will always lead to conflicts. How couples deal with it is a crucial indicator of whether they'll be able to stay together. Partners who assume their spouses are doing the best they can remain empathetic towards the other person, speak honestly and compassionately about what bothers them, and seek solutions together rather than demanding change tend to be more successful. Approximately 40% of marriages end in divorce. The risk is lower for those marrying for the first time, but higher for those marrying at a very young age or whose parents were divorced. To divorce-proof a marriage, research suggests partners should not rush into it. Make sure they share the same values and level of commitment, and avoid idealizing each other in ways that lead to eventual disappointment. The most important question: can partners change each other? Criticism in marriage can lead to heightened emotional reactivity, with one partner triggered by how the other bothers them and the other by suggestions or criticisms about it. This dynamic can make both individuals feel they can't be true to themselves. One needs to have their concerns validated by the other, while the other need not feel like they are being controlled. What is the role of sex in marriage? A core aspect of marriage is the commitment to have sexual relations with only one partner for the rest of your life. Sex tends to be a highly positive aspect of most couples' early days together, but like any other aspect of a relationship, struggles, of course, inevitably arise. Physical and emotional issues may change how one or both partners feel about the frequency or style of physical intimacy in a relationship, or fuel insecurity that manifests as anger or avoidance. Learning how to address sexual concerns together, honestly and openly, is the only key to maintain intimacy for long term. Of course, it is easier said than done, so please do practice it. The biggest challenge to satisfying sex in marriage is not openly discussing about it. Couples that have open discussions about their sexual concerns are the most satisfied with their relationships. But many partners endure unsatisfying sex for years just to avoid such conversations. Individuals may worry that sexual concerns could threaten the relationship, hurt a partner's feelings, or upset their own self esteem. Finding the courage to speak openly about sex, though, should only strengthen a bond. An estimated 80% of couples experience discrepancies in desire at some point. Couples high in sexual libido or the motivation to meet each other's sexual needs tend to navigate these challenges more successfully. They are less focused on the negatives of sex than the benefits to their partner of feeling loved and desired, and the benefits to themselves of being in a happy relationship. More persistent differences in desire may be best addressed with the therapist. In a relationship that can last decades, personalities change, bodies change, and desire perishes. Couples that manage the changes best not only are able to express their sexual wants to each other, but are generally romantic and affectionate outside the bedroom. They say I love you every day or at least once in a while, kiss each other for no reason, share compliments, have dates, cuddle, and do express affection towards each other often. Thanks for watching. For supporting me, consider subscribing the channel.